Hi, and welcome to another episode of 15 Minutes Of. I'm your host, Sonia Barrett, and joining me today is Lyndel Harris. He's the Chief of OCU Police here at OCU. Thanks for joining us today.
You're very welcome.
So I know we've had a lot of interesting things happening around campus this week that you guys have been called out on. One in particular, a smoke grenade. Can you tell me a little bit about what happened with that ordeal?
Well, what happened was that the grounds crew that takes care of the grass and picking up trash, well, they discovered it early that morning, I think around 8 o'clock, and that's when they called our department. And we had an officer responded, and he picked it up, and it was actually a canister. It looks like a can of beans or something with a fuse on top of it. And it had been activated, but it didn't go off. So what he did was picked it up, secured it, and brought it to our office. And from that point, we called Oklahoma City Bomb Squad, and they came out and contained it in one of their packages and then took it out after they examined it and detonated it. And they weren't sure if it was a military grenade, if it was homemade. And I know everybody thinks when you say grenade, you know, it looks like the little pineapple, but you know, in this case, most of the military or homemade are made in cans. And what they emit smoke for about 15 minutes, and there's a few sparks with it. And if it's something that went off in your hand and maybe pointed towards your face, then you're going to be severely burnt, you know, from that canister exploding. It doesn't actually explode and go into pieces. It just throws out the smoke, and, you know, along with it, well, the sparks come with it. The thing that concerns me most about it is not the fact that it was thrown out of a car or however it was thrown, but that a student or another passerby may pick it up and not know what they're dealing with. And if that thing does go off in their hands and it's pointed toward their body, it could set them on fire or severely burn them. And if it's in a dorm room, you know, or something like that, then, you know, we really need to know about it. And what people should do is just not bother it. You know, if they see one laying there, to call either 911 or call our department and let us know. And then all these guys have been trained to deal with these type things, and then they'll call probably the bomb squad, and they'll come out and take care of it for us.
So it's definitely a dangerous situation. So have you guys found out anything like why it was there, why it was on campus? Any history behind that?
No, it's what they call the spoon. It's, I don't know if you know what one looks like, but there's like a spoon on top of it, and once that's released, then that ignites the grenade itself. Well, that was found, and it was sent off to try to retrieve fingerprints off of it. And of course, we hadn't heard back from that yet, but Oklahoma City Bomb Squad, they weren't sure if it was military, if it was homemade. They said the numbers looked like it wasn't a military canister, so you know, it's something they're still checking on. And that made national news as far as police departments, because what the bomb squad does is when they have something like this found, then they send it out to all the bomb squads across the nation, so everybody knows. They kind of trade information that way.
Has anything like this ever happened on campus since you've been involved with the police department?
No, I've been here 25 years, and I've never known of anything like this that has occurred. You know, it's different.
So if something like this ever did happen again, I know you say we should call OCU PD, correct?
Yes.
So as far as that goes, what's the number that students can reach, and is there anything else that they should do if something like this happens?
They can call 208-5911 or 208-5001, goes into the same office. the main thing they need to do is just don't bother it, don't kick it, don't touch it, you know, and really I'd prefer that they just back away from it a little bit in case it decides to go off on its own. And that could happen. It could be just delayed, you know.
And again, what did this look like? Because like as a student walking around, I would probably never notice something like this.
Well, this particular one had some pretty strange numbers on. Like I said, it wasn't military, but it's in a can probably about that tall and, you know, maybe that big around.
Okay.
And then it's got like a spoon that comes down from the top down, and that's held most of the time by like a rubber band. And then you just slip that off, that spoon comes off, and then that ignites it. It's got like a 22 bullet, but it doesn't, what that does is that ignites the powder in the canister. You know, it fires into the canister, and then the thing
Pretty complicated
ignites.
device.
Yeah, it's there's a little bit to them.
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with more from Chief Harris here on 15 Minutes Of, so stay tuned.
No, 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 no! No!
Just what do you think you are doing, Dave? I really think I'm entitled to an answer to that question. I can see you are really upset about this. I know I've made some very poor decisions recently, but I can give you my complete assurance that my work will be back to normal. Dave, stop, will you? Will you stop, Dave?
My name is Eric. At first it was twice a week. Everybody else was doing it. Then one day I just did it all by myself. Now I can't stop.
It makes me feel powerful, you know? Like I can do anything.
It's the ultimate rush.
And every time feels like the first time.
Yeah, it does. You're not alone. It's okay. We've all been there.
My name is Brandon, and I'm hooked on service leadership.
Take the steps to living a better life by volunteering today.
Feels so good to finally say it. I love helping other people. Yeah!
Get motivated, get involved, get hooked on service leadership.
Welcome back to 15 Minutes Of. We're here with Chief of Police Lyndel Harris, and we're just talking about a little bit of activity that's been happening on and around our campus this week. So also, there's been a shooting off campus recently. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened there?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to it. Is that we got a call one afternoon that someone had pointed a gun out of a car, and come to find out, when we got over there, well, there'd been a window shot out of a car that was parked on the side of the road outside of our jurisdiction. And the caller waited about 15 minutes for some reason to give us a call. And when that happens, 15 minutes, you know, you can drive a long ways if you're wanting to get out of the area. And the only damage that we could find at that point was a window had gotten shot out of a vehicle that was parked. There was nobody injured, and Oklahoma City came in and worked the incident since it was outside of our jurisdiction. But one thing that I would ask everyone to do is, when they have an incident that happens, report it immediately, because every minute that you wait calling, then that gives that much more time for that person to get out of the area. And of course, that, you know, our jurisdiction doesn't run that far, and it kind of, you know, all we can do is report it to Oklahoma City Police and, you know, hope that they might run onto them.
So definitely call, if you're a student, as soon as you can, or see something happening as soon as you can.
Either call us or 911, and we'd prefer that, you know, if it's something that happened on campus, to call us and instead of 911 because we can respond a lot quicker,
Faster.
you know, than Oklahoma City Police can.
Yeah, and speaking of your jurisdiction, how far does that actually reach? Is it just on campus? Or?
No, it goes from Pennsylvania and 23rd Street north to 30th, and then then you cut across 30th to the east to Classen.
So pretty big range, not just on
Yeah,
campus.
it's quite a ways, but we kind of use our jurisdiction as a buffer zone, you could say, for the criminal activity. We do a lot of stops, you know, in the neighborhood, and that kind of pushes the criminal activity, you know, out to the north or, you know, away from campus. And I think the crime has gone down since we started doing that. So yeah, it's pretty good for the whole campus for us to have that much jurisdiction.
Do you feel like the police department is getting a lot of calls about crime activity happening near campus, more so than just things that students are doing that are illegal or something? Like, are there a lot of calls that come from people that are around campus that shouldn't be on campus and just securing that? Like,
Yeah,
what are the usual calls?
I believe that it's increased since our jurisdiction was changed. The calls coming from the community, you know, from the neighbors in the community, and we also have a lot of students that are scattered out through the community, and they know where our jurisdiction is, and they'll give us a call, you know, from time to time. And some of the neighbors, they give us information about where drugs are being sold and, you know, things of that nature. And it helps when you know what kind of element that you've got, you know, running around campus.
So OCU PD isn't really just focused so much on things that are happening with students. They cover a wide variety of things. Can you tell us just a little bit about the kind of calls that you guys have received?
Well, there's a lot of domestics, believe that or not, in the neighborhood, and they deal with that quite a bit. And then, you know, of course, speeders, and, you know, most of the time when they stop someone for running a stop sign, speeding, well, then they have something else that's wrong with, like they don't have a driver's license, the tag's outdated, you know, they're driving under the influence, and those are kind of things that you might not think would impact the university, but depending on which way they're traveling, if they're driving under influence of drugs or alcohol and they're driving toward campus, then, you know, they could, you know, run into one of our students or faculty or staff, and, you know, that kind of, I mean, it helps Oklahoma City, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that potential danger is taken care of initially because of you guys.
Yeah.
So, and I know that recently something else happened on our campus that you guys were called out to. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened there at Cokesbury?
Yeah, we had got a call that someone had been injured by jumping off the second floor of Cokesbury, and we responded, and they were transported to a hospital, you know, by ambulance, and I'm not sure exactly what the injuries were, but I think that person has since been released, and they're doing okay.
Okay, so can you just quickly give us another rundown of if a student or faculty member sees something happening strange on campus, what they should do to get in contact with you guys and how they should go about reporting some activity?
Well, once again, our phone number is 208-5911. That's probably the best number to call. But if you've been a student for a while, then you know the 208-5011. And either number will reach our office, answered by the same person. But we want all students to realize what their surroundings are, and if they have something that doesn't look right to them, if something in their gut says, you know, I think I'm gonna call. And we'd much rather go check that out and it be a false alarm than we would not check it out and it be something that really needed to be checked on, you know, something actually going on.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you guys next time here on 15 Minutes Of. Thanks for joining us.